Close your eyes for a moment and picture this. You've just landed in London, maybe Rome. Your body is tired, your legs stiff after 8 long hours in the air. You follow the signs to baggage claim, step up to the carousel, and hear that familiar buzzer. The belt starts moving, and suddenly it's a parade of black rectangles. One black suitcase, then another, then 10 more. All the same size, same wheels, same shape. Every single one looks exactly like yours. You step forward, convinced you've spotted it. You pull it off the belt, feeling the strain in your back, glance at the tiny tag, and realize it's not yours. You push it back on. You try again and again. The crowd slowly thins out. The belt stops. Now you're standing in a foreign country with nothing but the clothes you're wearing, and a cold knot of panic settles in your chest. This isn't rare bad luck. Airlines mishandle around 26 million bags every year. And here's the part most travelers never hear. The overwhelming majority of those lost or misdirected bags are plain, unmarked black suitcases. When you check a black bag, you aren't just trusting technology, you're gambling with your entire trip. You're assuming a paper tag and a scanner will flawlessly carry your belongings across an ocean. That's a risky bet. Today, I want to show you why checking a black suitcase is one of the biggest mistakes travelers make and how to fix it permanently. I'm going to walk you through the identity protocols that make your bag stand out, stay secure, and come back to you even when things go wrong. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Mila. I've been a flight attendant for 15 years, working red-eyes, long hauls, and the chaos of holiday travel. I call myself a guardian of travel because I care deeply about my passengers, especially those of you in your golden years. For you, a lost bag isn't just inconvenient. It can mean missing medications, orthopedic shoes, medical devices, or the few personal items that make you feel comfortable and confident away from home. I've watched the stress of lost luggage ruin sleep, spike blood pressure, and derail entire vacations before they even begin. I don't want that for you. I want you walking through the airport calm and prepared, not anxious and reactive. So let's go behind the scenes into the systems and habits that actually cause bags to disappear, starting with the real reason black luggage is so dangerous. Dangerous in the first place. It comes down to a simple but powerful psychological effect called change blindness. When the human brain is exposed to hundreds of identical objects, it stops seeing details. It groups them together as one category. To a tired baggage handler working a 10-hour shift in a dim, noisy bag room, your expensive Samsonite looks exactly the same as the budget suitcase next to it. And to another exhausted passenger at the carousel, your bag can look exactly like theirs. This is why the biggest risk often isn't the airline losing your bag. It's another passenger accidentally stealing it. We call this cross baggage, and it happens far more often than airlines admit. I once had a passenger named Martha flying to Miami for a 2-week Caribbean cruise. She checked a black 24-inch softshell suitcase and tied a small red ribbon to the handle just like everyone else does. At baggage claim, it was chaos. People were grabbing bags, bumping into each other, rushing to taxis. Martha spotted what she thought was her bag, grabbed it, and went straight to the cruise port. She didn't open it until the ship had already sailed. Inside, she found heavy wool sweaters, men's work boots, and clothes that clearly didn't belong to her. Another passenger had an almost identical black suitcase with a similar red ribbon and had taken Martha's bag by mistake. By the time anyone realized what happened, the ship was long gone. Martha spent 14 days in the Caribbean wearing overpriced t-shirts from the ship's gift shop, with no evening clothes, no sandals, and no personal items. She later told me, "Mila, I felt trapped and embarrassed the entire trip. A ribbon wasn't enough. A luggage tag wasn't enough. If you want to protect your bag, you have to interrupt the brain's pattern-matching reflex. Your bag must instantly signal, 'This is not yours.' The simplest fix is visual disruption. Buy a bright neon luggage strap and wrap it horizontally around your bag. That single bold line immediately separates your suitcase from the sea of black. It also adds a layer of security if the zipper bursts open. Next, attack the handle. Go to a hardware store and buy bright electrical tape or a neoprene handle grip in a loud color. Wrap the entire handle. When a bag comes off the carousel, the handle is often the first thing people see. If your handle is bright blue or yellow, the wrong hands hesitate before they grab. If you use a hard shell case, stop trying to keep it pristine. Add a large, unmistakable sticker, a flag, a bold symbol, even a cartoon graphic. My own mother uses a giant sunflower sticker that covers nearly half her suitcase. No one accidentally walks off with a bag that looks like it belongs to a personality. Now let's talk about a mistake that quietly causes thousands of bags to miss flights every day. Old barcode stickers. Those tiny airline stickers left over from previous trips might feel like badges of honor, but they are a nightmare for automated sorting systems. The scanners that route luggage are fast, dumb machines. They scan the first barcode they detect. If your bag still has a sticker from Phoenix 3 years ago and the scanner reads that before today's tag to London, the system gets confused and kicks your bag into manual review. Before every trip, you must perform surgery on your suitcase. Inspect every surface. Peel off all old barcode stickers. Remove leftover elastic loops or strings from past tags. Use warm water or adhesive remover if needed. Your bag must be a clean slate. The only barcode on it should be the one printed that day. I've seen entire families lose all their luggage because of old priority tags left on handles. This isn't about looking experienced. It's about working with the system instead of against it. Once your bag is visually unique and barcode clean, you've already reduced your risk dramatically. But now we need to prepare for the moment when technology fails anyway, because that's when the next layer of protection decides whether your bag comes back to you quickly, or disappears into a warehouse for days. This is where most travelers make a critical mistake. They assume the external luggage tag is enough. That long paper tag looped around the handle feels official, strong, reliable. But the conveyor belt system is a mechanical monster. Bags get crushed, snagged, and flung between belts. Handles catch on diverter arms. I've seen paper tags ripped off cleanly, as if sliced by a blade. When that happens, your suitcase becomes what we call a ghost bag. A ghost bag has no visible owner, no flight number, no destination. It's just another black box in the system. Airlines don't throw these bags away. They send them to a special resolution room. A supervisor is required to open the bag to search for identification, and this is where you either get lucky or you lose days of your trip. Most people pack their clothes, zip the bag, lock it, and that's it. Inside, there's nothing that immediately identifies them. Maybe a prescription bottle with a name, but that requires digging. I want you to create a life raft for your luggage. Type a single sheet of paper in large, clear font. Include your full name, your flight number, your destination hotel or city, your mobile phone number, and your email address. Place that paper on top of your clothes, facing up, inside a clear plastic sleeve or Ziploc bag so it stays clean. If a supervisor opens your ghost bag, that page is the first thing they see. Instead of tossing the suitcase into long-term storage, they can immediately print a new tag and reroute it to you. I had a passenger, Mr. Henderson, who lost a bag containing his heart medication. The external tag was torn off. Because the bag was locked and had no internal ID, it sat in an Atlanta warehouse for 5 days while legal clearance was requested. He ended up paying hundreds of dollars to see a doctor abroad. One printed sheet of paper could have saved him days of stress and real medical risk. Use the built-in ID card slot on your suitcase if it has one, but never put your home address on it while traveling. You don't want advertising that your house is empty. Your phone number and email are enough. Now let's talk about something that completely changes the power dynamic between you and the airline: GPS trackers. If you're still traveling without one, you're trusting systems that are often hours behind reality. Airline agents usually aren't lying to you, but their screens lag behind what's actually happening on the tarmac. A tracker like an Apple AirTag or Tile Pro gives you real-time truth. When you land and your phone says, "Luggage detected nearby," your shoulders relax before you even reach baggage claim. And if it doesn't, you don't waste 45 minutes staring at an empty belt. You go straight to the baggage service desk before the line forms. I once watched a 70-year-old passenger, Mrs. Gable, calmly correct an airline agent. The agent said her bag was on the next flight. Mrs. Gable opened her tablet and showed the map. "It's actually right here on the tarmac," she said. The ramp team went out and found the bag sitting on a cart in the rain. Without that tracker, it would have been soaked overnight. But a tracker only works if it stays hidden. Never drop it loose on top of your clothes. If a thief opens your bag and sees it, they'll remove it instantly. Instead, make a small slit in the inner lining of your suitcase, deep inside a pocket. Slide the tracker between the fabric and the shell. Tape it down so it doesn't move. Name the tracker with your phone number instead of luggage. If someone finds it, their phone will prompt them to contact you. Now we need to address security itself. Zippered suitcases are not secure by default. There's a simple technique called the ballpoint pen attack. With a cheap pen, someone can pop open a standard coil zipper in seconds, reach in, steal an item, then zip it back up. Your lock stays closed. You never know you were robbed until you reach your hotel. The fix is anchoring the zipper pulls. Use a flexible TSA-approved cable lock, not a rigid padlock. Thread the cable through both zipper pulls and then through a fixed metal loop or D-ring on the suitcase frame. This prevents the pulls from sliding. Even if someone forces the zipper, they can't reseal it without visible damage. Thieves want stealth. When that's impossible, they move on. This matters deeply for travelers carrying medical equipment. I've seen CPAP machines rendered useless because someone stole a power cord or humidifier unit, thinking it was generic electronics. Sleep apnea is serious. Your luggage security directly affects your health. And now we come to the physical reality of how bags are treated, because even a secure bag can fail if it's built poorly. What happens in the belly of the plane determines whether your suitcase arrives ready to roll or becomes a three-wheeled nightmare that turns every step into pain. To understand why, you have to picture what really happens below the cabin floor. Bags aren't placed gently, they're thrown. A suitcase often has to travel 4 to 6 feet through the air from the belt loader into the stack. During turbulence, those stacks shift, compress, and slam into each other. When a 50-pound bag lands at the wrong angle, something has to give. This is where modern spinner suitcases fail. Those 4 little wheels that glide so nicely across smooth airport floors are exposed and brittle. When another heavy bag lands on one of those wheels, snap. I see broken spinner wheels every single week. Once one wheel is gone, your suitcase becomes a lopsided anchor. Dragging it across cobblestones, train platforms, or long hotel corridors is miserable. For travelers with arthritis, back pain, or hip issues, it can be physically impossible. This is why most flight crews still use 2-wheel roll bags. The wheels are recessed into the frame, protected from impact. They're larger, more like rollerblade wheels, designed to handle curbs and uneven pavement. Because the wheels don't stick out, you often get more usable interior space, and most importantly, they don't shatter when tossed. If you must use a 4-wheel spinner, quality matters. Cheap hard plastic wheels break. Look for double wheels and solid bearings. Brands like Briggs & Riley are popular with crew for a reason. Their lifetime guarantee means if an airline breaks a wheel, it gets fixed. Your luggage choice isn't about fashion, it's a medical decision. Now let's assume the worst happens. You're standing at the baggage service desk. The agent asks you to describe your bag. If your answer is black suitcase medium size, you've already lost leverage. That description matches thousands of bags. You need proof. Every time you check a bag, take a photo of it on the scale at the check-in counter. That single image proves the airline accepted it, shows the condition, and confirms the weight. Then take a quick photo of the inside while packing. It doesn't need to be artistic. It needs to show what was there. Why does this matter? Because airlines depreciate claims aggressively. Without proof, that $500 suit becomes used clothing worth $40. That electric toothbrush becomes a $10 item. If you can show a photo, the claims process moves faster and the payout is fairer. Create a simple album on your phone labeled with the trip year. Include photos of your passport, prescriptions, the bag on the scale, the contents, and the baggage claim tag. Stick that claim tag on the back of your passport the moment you receive it. That album is your insurance policy. Connections increase risk dramatically. A direct flight has a very high success rate for baggage. Add a connection, especially a tight one, and the odds drop fast. Airlines sell tickets based on minimum connection time, not realistic bag transfer time. A 45-minute layover might be possible for you. Your bag has to be unloaded, driven, rescanned, sorted, and loaded again. If your first flight is 10 minutes late, you might make it while your bag doesn't. For senior travelers, I strongly recommend a minimum of 90 minutes for domestic connections and 3 hours for international. I know waiting is frustrating, but arriving later with your belongings beats arriving early without them. I once watched a 72-year-old man sprint through Heathrow trying to make a connection. He made the gate, exhausted and pale. The cargo door closed behind him. His bags didn't make it. They spent 3 days arguing with customer service instead of exploring Venice. There's one strategy that dramatically reduces the impact of loss, especially for couples: cross-packing. Don't pack his bag and her bag. Split outfits between both suitcases. If one bag goes missing, both of you can function. If you're traveling solo, split essentials between your checked bag and carry-on. Never check a bag without at least one full outfit in your carry-on. That single decision turns a crisis into an inconvenience. All of these steps work together: visibility, durability, documentation, timing, and strategy. When you layer them, you stop being at the mercy of the system. And once you control the system, the final piece becomes mindset. How you move through the airport and respond when something goes wrong, because that's where experienced travelers quietly separate themselves from the stressed crowd. This is where experience shows, not in rushing or arguing, but in staying calm while everyone else panics. When something goes wrong with luggage, your reaction determines how fast it gets fixed. Stress makes people invisible. Composure makes people memorable. If your bag doesn't arrive, don't stand frozen at the carousel until the lights turn off. The moment you realize it's missing, move with purpose. Go straight to the baggage service office while others are still waiting, because the first 10 minutes matter. Be polite, clear, and specific. My bag did not arrive on Flight 214 from New York. It is a black hard-shell case with a neon strap and an AirTag inside. That sentence alone separates you from the dozens of vague complaints agents hear every hour. This is where your preparation pays off. You can show the photo of the bag on the scale. You can show the AirTag location. You aren't guessing, you're informing. When agents realize you know exactly where your bag is, the conversation changes. You're no longer asking for help, you're directing the solution. Now let's talk about something emotional but important. Never tie your sense of safety to the idea that it won't happen to me. Lost luggage doesn't target careless people. It targets volume, fatigue, and tight timelines. Accepting that reality doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you resilient. This is also why patience is strategic. Anger shuts doors. Courtesy opens them. I've watched passengers scream and get nowhere, while the calm traveler beside them quietly gets a hotel delivery arranged, reimbursement approved, and a tracking update in minutes. Airlines respond faster to people who look organized and unshakable. Another key habit is expectation management. Even with all precautions, delays happen. That's why your carry-on is sacred. One change of clothes, medication, chargers, and toiletries stay with you. That small buffer protects your health, your dignity, and your mood. It lets you sleep while the system catches up. And finally, remember that the goal isn't perfection. It's recovery. A resilient travel plan assumes small failures and absorbs them without collapsing. When your bag is distinctive, documented, tracked, durable, and strategically packed, the system has fewer ways to hurt you. You stop feeling like a victim of air travel and start feeling like a participant who understands the rules. I'm Mila, and in the final part, I want to pull everything together into one simple pre-trip and airport routine you can follow every time. No stress, no overthinking, just a repeatable system that protects your health, your belongings, and your peace of mind from the moment you leave home to the moment you open your hotel door. Peace of mind from the moment you leave home to the moment you unpack. This final piece is about turning everything you've learned into a simple habit, not a checklist that stresses you out. The most confident travelers I know don't think harder. They repeat the same system every single trip until it becomes automatic. Before you leave your house, look at your suitcase and ask one question. If this disappears tonight, will I still be okay tomorrow? If the answer is no, adjust. Cross-pack with your partner or split essentials between checked and carry-on. Put one full outfit, basic toiletries, and all medications in the bag that stays with you. That single decision removes most of the fear from travel. At the airport, treat baggage check like a final inspection. Old stickers gone, handles clean, neon strap secure, photo taken of the bag on the scale, AirTag confirmed active. That takes less than 1 minute, and it gives you leverage if something goes wrong. When you walk away from the counter, you should already know that your bag is identifiable, traceable, and documented. At baggage claim, don't rush. Stand back and scan calmly. Let others grab first. You're looking for your identifiers, not just a shape. If the belt stops and your bag isn't there, don't freeze. Move immediately to the service desk while information is still fresh and staff are still available. Calm confidence here saves hours later. If you're traveling with a partner, remember this truth. Luggage problems don't ruin trips, reactions do. When one bag is delayed, you don't panic or argue. You pivot. You already planned for this. You already cross-packed. You already protected your essentials. That mindset keeps small problems from becoming emotional ones. Most importantly, understand this isn't about fear. It's about control. Air travel is a system built for speed, not for individual care. When you understand how it works, you stop taking things personally. A missing bag isn't a failure. It's a process gap you know how to navigate. I've watched thousands of travelers over the years. The ones who suffer most aren't unlucky, they're unprepared. The ones who glide through disruptions aren't special, they're informed. You've earned the right to travel without unnecessary stress. Your body, your health, and your time matter more now than ever. So protect them with smart systems, not hope. I'm Mila, your guardian of travel. Pack with intention, move with calm, and remember this: the world is still yours to explore, as long as you travel smarter than the chaos around you.